y'all, welcome back to Whisper Wire. This is this week's rendition of what's been happening in the social media streets. My name is Whisper, and let's just get into it. So I think the popular story around is this one with the whole syndicate that's been going around, the whole Alabuga situation, where your influencers have been promoting this thing. And if you take a little Google search, you can see that this thing has been running since 2023. But clearly, for such circles, people who are quite influential, we just, forget about these things and not worry ourselves about these things. But then now they've come under fire because they've used the new Uncle Toms, I would call them, and in no particular order. I'll just mention them, and I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of them. We have top of the range, or Cyan Boujee, and while I'm mentioning her, I will like to close with her, actually, and no haterade, honestly, no haterade. These are all kids, and, sometimes you don't know better until you are much older, I guess. But in no particular order, we have your Yandas, Babalo Noko, Letabo Mekwa, Karabo Sijojo, Peachy Sprinkles, Zile Weezy's, Munaka, Sibongile Kajani, Pretty Lona, Tando, Ntabi Seng, Sasha Dominikov, Sima, it's a Yellow Candy, Buntle Lethoki, who are a couple. I'm sure it's Hopi, Real Bassi, Sine, and in all of that. So this is just the highlights of them. There's actually quite a lot of them who've been involved in this whole syndicate. But I want to mention just a few, Let us start with Munaka. Munaka has been involved in so much drama of late, and it's so hilarious that the very same podcast that she wanted to not be associated with, how she heard the voice of God and all of that, the same people that are rescuing her now. But she is lying through her teeth. If you just go on social media and just search, all these excuses, and I'm like, where's the conscience? Where's the conscience, actually? And but who I feel sorry for, is Sima. But let me finish with Munaka. So Munaka, when this whole thing came out, denying, and she had, who's that girl, AKA's girlfriend? Her. She was also in defense of this whole thing, and she was speaking about like money first. We understand, guys, that we are ruled by money and money is important and everything like that. But now your only concern right now is the possibility of brands not associating with you. But anyway, so Munaka now was giving unsolicited, and you know what, this is not the time, girl. This is not the time for you to be saying such. And how these other influencers, they charge 5K, and then when they come, now these brands don't want to give them more because now you have downcharged and now they can't ask for more. So with this whole saga, apparently these influencers got 100,000 rand each, substantial money, honestly substantial money, but that's how big these syndicates are, And shout out to this girl on Twitter. I won't even mention her handle because now she's got people threatening her, coming to her house. She recently moved to the house that she's living in, but she's had like anonymous people showing her address and pictures of her house, So she's the first one that highlighted this thing, or one of the first ones that highlighted this thing. I forgot the other creator on TikTok as well, where she was stating that these influencers are helping these syndicates in recruiting African women. Again, the African woman. Again, what is it that African women have that everybody just wants a piece of them? This reminds me of this whole Dubai poop saga, or whatever they called it. Is it Chocolate Gate? I don't know what they called it. But that whole saga where it's African women, again, who need to be belittled, whether they're going to be pooped in their mouths or situations like that, or sleeping with dogs. It's such a scary, don't open that rabbit hole if you're not ready, So, and this program, it is now focusing on 18 to 22-year-olds. And obviously you can explain that away in how we've been moving as the world, We're trying to rebalance the gender scales and, bring a girl child to work and all of that. But now if this is something that's anyway, I guess the red flags were there, but so your influencers are saying how they've done their research. Others were flown to this country in Russia, and now others are being caught in lies, and I don't know if they didn't have a meeting to say that, okay, this is the lie that we're going to be perpetuating. We have Sima, I'd say, I'm not a fan of any of these kids, honestly, but I did see that Sima, as soon as these news came out, she was one of the first to delete that content, one of the first to be in shock as well, and it's so unfortunate that right now we're just seeing that, girl, you crying over the money, ain't you? So none of these influencers have mentioned how, oh my gosh, I could have been a part of sending girls, because little girls are quite impressionable, and it's so unfortunate that our moral fiber as a country is down the pits, down the drain, that we have people who are selling nyash coming to schools and twerking. What inspiration is that, where other people are focusing, other countries in Africa are focusing on, tech girlies and all of that. We're focusing on twerking. What's happened to a moral fiber? But anyway, we had this Sasha influencer, Dominikov, who said that they have 3 managers and they record their campaigns after everybody else because, they want to make sure that everything is legit. First of all, fire yourself and then fire those managers. What research did these people do? Guys, just admit there's no problem. The scripture says the love of money is the root of all evil, not that money itself, but clearly how you're operating. We're seeing that, you guys are definitely in that zone, You guys put money above everything and anything else, which is rather sad, So yesterday, that other shady podcast, the one that's always in social media streets, the ones with Sol Penduka and McG, named after McG, that podcast, they had these influencers gathering there, and I felt sorry for Sima Shame, considering that she was one of the first ones to admit that, oh my gosh, but I remember seeing this couple, but I remember the guy, he took the flag, comment section, like he tried responding and just saying sorry. The rest is shame. The rest, especially the Cyan Boujee girl. Yeah, this girl's problematic, guys. And I'm not even a hater. Like I'm saying, I'm not a fan of these kids. I'm not a fan of what they do or anything like that. But I'm just worried that the blueprint that these people are setting. And I'm not saying that, as parents I'm not saying that parents need to absolve their responsibility of role modeling into other people, but we are living in such a digital age. We don't have digital literacy. We don't know like these, like quick access to these dark world of the web, But anyway, these kids are looking up to these kids. And obviously if your favorite is saying that, listen, this is legit and all of that, but we also got to be questioning ourselves, if we wanted advice on women on top, how to get money from rich men, like some of these influencers would be the go-to place. Mara, now this is education, this is job opportunities. These people literally have made a living off like nonsense. I'd say nonsense, and I'm not surprised actually with the podcast how the bigger core was actually how these people are making a living. Their families have to deal with. There's no food or there's no provisions for them, and on top of that, there's also no girls. The girls are gone. Recruited in these drone making situation. Apparently, allegedly, I'm not too sure. And the Russian embassy in South Africa has come out to say that no, they don't know anything. They're not associated with any human trafficking things. As if you'll admit, come on. We know how. Like if you open this rabbit hole of human trafficking, that whole sex trade, it is deep, But now, Cyan Boujee now has been caught in a lie where she's now mentioning how, no, these girls, they look so scared, they looked uncomfortable. One was crying, they had to calm it down before recording, and how she was given a script for basically what she was saying had to be scripted, And like I'm saying, it's bag over anything, and this just shows how, segregation and colonization is always a rinse and repeat, because back in the day, it was the good blacks, the the ones that have order, the bourgeoisie, the ones that are influential, the ones that, even our presidents and themselves, if we're looking back, especially from a South African context, if we're looking at that, it's the ones that can sway people, that the majority of the people believe in. And yeah, they're the ones that are actually selling the people out or selling people off. People are commodities, and yeah, over a bag, over some people say mirrors and all of that, but it was literally over monetary things. There's a story happening in KZN where now these people want to mine minerals, and in mining that mineral, they gave the chiefs, right? So the influential people of the community, they gave them these fast sports cars, money, and all of that. And I feel that, oh my gosh, it's literally rinse and repeat. So they were not remorseful until they lost followers, So as much as I'm saying that Nosima did admit that no, that was wrong and all of that, but her bigger cry was her losing almost 3 million followers on TikTok, And then I was not surprised with the likes of that other podcast that I mentioned earlier on, where they defending this whole thing, One of them, you know which one, just got fired for, I guess, associations with the whole misogyny around Mini Lamini. Shame. I felt a bit off about that, because shame, man. It was the other guy and not specifically him. But his response here, like, is anybody worried about the girls? Are you guys only worried about your followers and the brand deals that you don't have? And Munaka, man, yeah. Munaka, she still has her account, and she's hoping, I guess, like I'm saying, that she's hoping that she won't be next in losing all these brand deals. But this just brings a question of our moral fiber as a people, of our moral fiber as the capitalist world. But obviously capitalism has no moral fiber, But shout out to that creator on X, formerly Twitter, and also the conscious gang on the Chinese app TikTok, So we wouldn't have lied to this, but the question is, will there be repercussions besides brand deals? Will there be repercussions, I'm not calling for jail time and stuff like that, but will there be repercussions because all these kids, they lied through their teeth and put other children in danger and not realizing how serious this whole thing is. But anyway, I'll see you guys. I'm gonna share what Saul also said, and find the creator of this TikTok clip. I don't want to be flagged for plagiarism now, so I'm just gonna speak a little bit over it. But just go find these original clips and hear what is being said. You can also check out this podcast. This problematic podcast as well on what they were saying there as well. But shout out to everybody who's more concerned about the girls versus the money that's involved here. But anyway, I'll see you guys probably on a Reddit story. And we're still finding our feet on this platform here, so please do bear with me. But I'm gonna try make these episodes also a bit shorter so that we can wrap up the story in like 3 minutes, right? I don't think we need that much time. All right, see you guys on the next episode. And
there's a socio-geopolitical thing angle. You spoke about where Russia keeps on bringing people into the country, young people. They must be making drones. Remember, there was also a story of Elon Musk. They want to use Starlink to send drones to. These things always happen. So I just want to implore people to be.
There's a bigger conversation.
And also, it seems like there's bandwagoning happening where there's people who are just happy that Sima's lost her accounts and people are losing their accounts. And it's a black thing now. It's not even you care about human trafficking. And to speak on the human trafficking, if you know somebody who's been human trafficked due to this,
police immediately
make statement, tell us more.